Hey, welcome to Blue Chip Auto Works. I'm Charles. I'm going to show you how to replace a broken carbon brush holder on a Tuff Stuff one-wire alternator because I broke it. Right. And so to take the alternator loose, first you got to get the belt loop. The bolt down there is a 16. Just loosen the bolts that hold the alternator in. There's one there and one there. This one is a 14 millimeter. And the other bolt holding the alternator in is this one. It is a 16 millimeter. So just pull the bolt all the way up. Lift the alternator up. Now that you have the alternator out, you can remove the 4 5/16 screws that hold the alternator together. After you have all the screws out, just remove the back of the alternator and set it to the side. Now we can remove the little nuts that hold the stator in place. They're 11/32. All right, now that we got the 3 nuts taken off that hold the stator connections on, we can lift the stator out. You just lift it straight out. Now you can get to all the bolts. You can get to this one right here, which is really hard to get to with the stator on. You can take these 2 bolts out and lift everything out. All right, now that we got these 3 bolts loose, just lift everything out. Now that you got everything out, you can take the carbon brushes and the holder apart. Remove the bolts. One of them falls out relatively easily, and these 2 you have to push out because they've got a little plastic shield. Now that we've got everything apart, we can go ahead and replace the carbon brush holder. This is the part number that I got from Advanced Auto Parts. It's a CarQuest brand. It's an XAC 1044. This looks just like the old one, except it's not broken. Take the carbon brushes. All right, so you got 2 little dimples on here and 2 recesses back here. The dimples go in the recesses. This is the non-insulated screw. This is one of the insulated ones. The 2 insulated screws go here and here, as you can see. So all of these screws here are 1/4 inch. Let's put it back down into place and gently start to. And you can see where they'll come through the back of the alternator body. So now that everything is in place, you can tighten these 3 down. And just tighten them down gently. All right, so now we got the carbon brushes in place and everything back together. We can put the stator back in. Make sure you check your electrical connections and make sure they're clean. All right, so now we can just set the stator back in place. Push it into place gently. And now we can put the nuts back on the stabs right there. So now that you got the nuts on the stabs, you can tighten them down again. These are all 11/32. So we'll just tighten those down. Okay, so now we can put the alternator back together. And so the shaft part right here goes down in the bearing. This is where the carbon brushes ride on the rotor. And so just very carefully put everything back together. Leave this little pin in. If you pull this pin out, then it releases the carbon brushes. We'll do that after we get everything back together. So I've aligned this to how I want it. So it just goes back together carefully. Just like that. And now we can just screw it back together. And these are 5/16, so you can just tighten them. Just tighten them up. Now we can pull the pin out to release the carbon brushes, and that'll release them from the holder, and they'll ride on the shaft. And we just see 1, 2. Let's see how that sounds. That sounds good. That's how to install carbon rotor brushes on a Tuff Stuff one-wire alternator. So the alternator's back on the car and everything's hooked up properly. I didn't take any video of it, but I'll show you what it looks like. And so we got a good power wire from the alternator to the battery, and we got a good ground wire on it. So now I'm going to start it up and put a voltmeter on it and make sure the alternator's charging properly. All right, so that looks good. The alternator's charging about 14.7 volts. That's what it should be charging. Thank you for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Remember to like and subscribe. Take care. God bless.